Can I be honest and tell you how excited I am that it's 4 days this week? It's not that I don't love you. I love each and every one of you for the 58 minutes that you're here. I love my wife every single day. Every day. It doesn't always mean that I like her. I am ready for a break already. You know why? Because you guys have been working extremely hard and I think you deserve it. I have not been working all that hard, but I still feel like I deserve it. So, what do we have tomorrow to finish off this short week? You have your quiz. It is a 4-question quiz on triangles. Parents, ask your children or ask your people to look at their warm-ups. They should have warm-ups from the past 2 days about triangles. Those will help on the quiz. With me? Okay, my bright little kiddos. Unit 1, Geometry, Day 8. We are starting quadrilaterals. So far, we've talked about the basics of geometry. We've talked about the 3 undefined terms, point, line, and plane. Then we said, okay, well, lines, we know go forever in both directions. We know a ray has an endpoint and then goes forever in one direction. We know a segment has 2 endpoints and stops. We're going to be dealing with lines, rays, and segments today. We're going to be dealing with angles, which we know are acute, right, obtuse, or a straight angle. We're even going to be dealing with triangles. And we know the sum of 3 interior angles of a triangle have to be 180 degrees. I've been leading you up step by step by step to this point. If I just said quadrilaterals and we started here, there'd be things we didn't know. So you now have the basis to do this. Fair enough? Fair enough. What color do I want today?
Blue. Brown is underrated. Blue.
Brown is underrated. My favorite color is black. I don't want purple. If I had a good orange that you could see, I'd use orange. You know what I wish I had? I wish I had hot pink. I do. I have a hot pink shirt that you guys were like, oh, it's red, Mr. H. No, it's not. It's hot pink. It makes me feel special. So, here we go. You ready? First thing that we're going to do is we're going to define 2 words. The first word, if I spell it correctly, come on, Mr. H. Come on, Mr. H. I think so, is parallel.
Parallel.
You have seen the word parallel before. You have probably watched the Olympics and watched the men's gymnastics and they do the parallel bars. You have probably seen this word in other places that I'm not thinking because that was the only example that I had. But what do we think parallel means? Wait.
Up and down.
Up and down, okay.
2 lines that never intersect.
2 lines that never intersect. What do you mean by intersect?
Cross.
Cross, meet, okay? So, parallel, any 2 lines, segments, or rays that will never intersect. And I'm going to say this for the video, I'm not going to say it for you guys. Before anybody who's watching this who's really a geometry person, because this is not the true definition of parallel. I'd have to tell you that parallel lines only happen in the same plane. Then we'd have to show what the plane is, why skew. All I need you to know right now for what we are going to be dealing with is parallel means any 2 lines, segments, rays that will never intersect. Okay? Now, underneath parallel, in these parentheses, I'm going to show you a symbol. The symbol for parallel looks like an 11. I mean, it does. We're going to talk about this in a second because you need to see some examples. no matter what it appears to look like, you will have to look for certain things. So here's my example. Here is line AB. Here is line CD. To show parallel on lines, you will see either an arrow in the middle. Woo-hoo! Pink! You will see an arrow in the middle or an arrowhead in the middle. Okay? I just show it. Oh man, that was a really bad area. As just the arrowhead. Everybody with me? That means this line is parallel to this line. But pause. What if I have 1, 2 arrowheads? Is this line now parallel to this line?
No.
Just like congruent tick marks, they have to have the same number of arrowheads. So this wouldn't be. If I just made it with 1, these are parallel. So how do I write that? Well, I'm going to write this as line AB, and then the funny 11. I just make it longer than 11, and then I put line CD. The way I would read this is line AB is parallel to line CD. Questions? Are there examples in this room? Don't shout them out. Are there examples of parallel lines or parallel segments in this room? If you look around, do you think that you can find some parallel lines and parallel segments? Oh, good. Good, says Mr. H. Hot thing. Mrs. Armstrong to the rescue. So that's parallel. Let's talk about the next one. Perpendicular. And I'm just going to put the symbol next to it. Perpendicular is an upside down T. What do we think perpendicular means? And you have seen this before. We've actually already dealt with perpendicular lines and segments. Taylor?
Line that intersects.
And what does it do when it intersects? Because that's the important part.
The X.
Close.
What kind of angle does it
It
form?
crosses an X.
Good guess. Owen?
It makes two vertical angles.
Not always. A right angle. So perpendicular. Two lines, rays, or segments. I loved your math terminology that you said intersects. Two lines, rays, or segments that intersect and form a 90-degree angle. We have seen perpendicular lines already. You know when? When have we seen perpendicular rays or perpendicular lines or perpendicular segments? Can you give me an example? What have we seen in our notes from way back? Probably at like day 3, maybe day 2. What did we have on our very first quiz that we could now call perpendicular? What else did we have that were 90 degrees?
So what kind of other geometric terms could you use to describe that?
A right triangle. Okay, so if I had a right triangle,
Don't smile.
A, B, C. I could now say that segment AB the upside down T, segment AC. Can anybody tell me how they think I would say that? How would I say this? Go ahead, Leighton.
AB is perpendicular to AC.
Very close. You forgot the notation. What are those? Go ahead, Izzy. Yes, segment AB is perpendicular to segment AC. Why are they perpendicular? Because they intersect here at A, and they form a 90-degree angle. So if I say, why is it a right angle? You're going to tell me, because they are perpendicular. Questions? Okay, so here's what you're going to do now. I want you to take a piece of paper, take your notebook, take what you need to. You're going to be standing up and you're going to be walking around the room. It's going to get a little loud, it's going to get a little chaotic. Make sure that you're using the correct terminology. On your paper, I need you to find around this room 3 examples of parallel line segments raised, 3 perpendicular line segments raised. So find them around the room. I don't want you to work with somebody else. I want you to stand up, start walking around. The only place you can't walk is up here. Actually, we'll just stop it. Stop!